Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over the trades that we took on Friday as well as the game plan going into tomorrow and this week. So on Friday, this is what we looked like on the Friday contracts. This chart right here tells us the main trend in the market. And you guys know, every single video I've been telling you guys, the market's been bullish the past week. Ever since Monday to Friday, the market was bullish the entire week. And we know this because on the call side for the 585s, the 10 is above the 50 SMA on the calls, which means the market is trending bullish and we're only focused on the longs. So we're just looking for 0 DT cross on calls, 50 dip on calls, negative cross on puts. Those are like the main setups that we are looking for. And also you could buy this dip at the 50 SMA if you want, but more so than not, I do take the entries off of the 0-day chart. It just gives me a more precise entry. So yeah, this is what we did on Friday. So given the market was bullish on Friday, if you guys look here right off of open, this is where we ended up opening right here, this green candle. We had a little dip in the morning, and obviously that got eaten up right at this 50 SMA. You could have bought right there if you wanted, or just wait for the call cross on the 0-day chart. So if we go to the 0-day chart now, this is what we look like. 5-minute time frame. As you guys know, that's the time frame you use on the 0-day chart. The Friday charts are the 30-minute to give you guys the trend in the market. So all we did was look for the 0-day cross on calls. I gave this out on the Twitter. I told you guys just watch for the 0-day cross on calls because the market's trading bullish and we're only focused on the long. So you just had to just wait and watch this chart cross. That's all you had to do. That's when you knew to go long, was once this chart crossed. That was a long signal. So right here, 10 is going above the 50. Wouldn't enter this though until around this candle right here, 1245, 1250 is when I did enter this. I did buy this red candle right here at the 10, just because I know the market's trading bullish. All of their time frames are quite bullish, and I'm taking my chances here. I think that is when, I'm not sure when Colin entered. I'm going to check the timestamp here. 1231 he got in this, and or no, not 1231, 1250, my bad. 1250 is when he entered this. Yeah, so pretty much same candle as me. Once we got this pump up a little bit, the 50 started curling. It still is down a little bit right here, but then on this next candle open, the 50 started curling. And honestly, I mean, you could have entered there, but I know the market's bullish, and I am, getting a starter position in on this near this 10 SMA. I know I always say wait for the 50 to curl, but there are some times where I do get in a little bit early just because the risk is so small. If this, most likely the 50 is gonna curl. We're holding the 50 and the 10 right here. I mean, it looks really good. So what I like to do sometimes is just take a starter and then I'll average up as it goes in my favor, and the 50 curls even more. So that's what I did, and we got a very nice move out of it. This gave probably like 50 to 60 points on this cross. Very, very nice move. I'm really not looking for anything too crazy because this trend has been going on for quite a while. We've been bullish for I don't even know how long. So taking 50 points on the cross is something that you should have done. And if you did want to trail some, I would just I would keep it to a small position. So yeah, that was a nice move. And then this 10 SMA reclaim paid beautifully. I mean, this is so clean. We didn't come down in the 50 here, so there really wasn't a 50 dip to buy. But you could have bought this reclaim of the 10. It was beautiful. We got back above the 10 SMA right here on this candle. So the next candle you could have longed. So at the 12 or at the 225 candle open, could have went long, and look at the move you got. That's another like 50, 60 points. So you guys know. I'm just gonna do a little refresher here. You guys know the market's trading bullish. You could buy this 50 dip down in here. We never got to it, so if we do get back above the 10 and we come somewhat close to the 50, then you honestly just buy the reclaim at that point. If it doesn't hit it exactly, just watch for the reclaim, and then you could take the reclaim there. You guys know in a neutral market, you do not buy this dip to the 50. It just doesn't make sense to do that, because if you think about it, why would you be buying a dip on the 0-day chart when there's no trend in the market? So on the 0-day chart, the intraday trend, that's what it gauges. The 0-day chart gauges the intraday trend. So most likely the intraday trend isn't going to hold the 50 SMA since there's no trend in the market. A lot of times we get a little cross, then the charts go negative, and then the other side crosses, they go negative because it's a neutral market, there's no trend. So that's just something you don't do in a neutral market. But since the last week we've been trending, you could buy this 50 dip if we come down to it. We never got it obviously on Friday. We did get it towards the close, but I mean, this is just not like the last 30 minutes. I wouldn't even be looking at the chart. It's kind of irrelevant at that point. But Yeah, Friday was a super simple day. Make sure you guys follow the Twitter, Clutch Trades, 2S's. Link is in the description. I've been giving out some free trades. This week I gave out, I think, Palantir for 180%, Microsoft for 120%. We took a Palantir loss of like 35%. It might have been a little bit more if you didn't average down. But what was another one that we took? SPY calls, 120%. I gave you guys this what to look for this chart. 0-day cross on calls was set up to look for. Gave you guys what to look for, and that paid. SPY calls went 120% again. Trying to think what else we took. I feel like there's one more, maybe not. But yeah, it was a really good week. I mean, these charts, very simple to trade, best strategy out there. Really, it's really simple, man. You just gotta learn the ropes of the strategy. It's just playing the crosses. You gotta know what a valid cross is. You gotta know what steps you want to be looking for every day. Which ones are gonna be the most probable depending on the current conditions. So whether we're trending bullish, bearish, or neutral, you gotta know what you want to be looking for. That is the best setup for the day. So, like I said, I always say this: 30-minute chart. If the 30-minute chart is trending, a 0-day cross in the direction of the 30-minute trend is the best possible setup you could take when it comes to trading the system. It's the best setup you could take. It has the highest probability of being a winning trade. It's just, honestly, if you only traded that trade, you would not lose that much. I mean, it's very rare that I feel like that we get a 0-day cross when we have trend that doesn't play out. Unless maybe we're at like some higher time frame resistance, but other than that, it plays out beautifully. I would say like 90% of the time, maybe like 85%. It's a really good setup to take. So that's what we did on Friday. Going into this week, the market is still obviously trending bullish. If we look here at the 30-minute, I know we dumped quite a bit after hours on Friday, so we'll have to see where we open up. But until this chart goes negative, market's still bullish. This trend has been going on for quite some time, so I'm really not sure how long it's going to go. We're going to have new contracts next week. I'm trying to figure out what contracts are we going to be getting. So this week it's going to be the 23rd expiration. So maybe if we gap down a little bit, let's just call it the 595s. If we pull up the 595 really quick, this is the next week. Yeah, this is this week's expiration. All right, so we are pretty close to the 50. It's not that far off. So if we did gap down tomorrow, this chart will probably go negative. At that point, if the market's neutral, obviously you guys know 0-day cross on either side of the premium will work. But most likely, if we do get that negative cross, we're going to be playing to the downside just because the bulls are losing the trend. The puts are probably going to get a cross, and it's either going to be a put cross or a 10 SMA reclaim on the puts if the market goes neutral tomorrow. Maybe even a 50 dip. As you guys know, if that initial negative cross, you could buy the 50 dip on the 0-day chart. If we get that put cross, it's only on the initial move down. After we get the initial bounce out to 50, you don't buy it anymore at that point. If we remain bullish, 0-day cross on calls, 50 dip on calls will be the move. So that's the plan for tomorrow. It doesn't really matter what way the market moves. We'll be able to catch something. It's just how the system's designed. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. If you guys want to learn, watch all the videos on the YouTube. Got plenty of knowledge on there. If you guys want to see the trades throughout the day and see how the setups occur live, join the Discord down below. That's the place to be if you want to learn. So that's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.